Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Workbench here at Scale Models Midwest. As always, I'm Dave. Hope you're having a great weekend. Got a lot of stuff done today, and now I'm down here in the workbench for a few hours. We have to go upstairs to start grilling some steaks on the grill. And kind of going through my model boxes and deciding what kind of kit I'm going to build. I'll show you that at the very end for my next kit. But, so I was looking through them. I realized that I still had some stuff up on the shelf that I don't have on display because, you know, I quite frankly don't have a lot of room, and that's why I saved the boxes and the instructions of all the kits I've been building over the past several years. So when I start running out of room, I can put them in the box, set them up on the shelf, bring them out when I feel like, and then ultimately when we have our basement finished, I'll have more dedicated space to display everything. Of course, keep building models, I won't have enough room to display everything, but one can dream, right? Anyhow, I was kind of going through my kits. I was looking for one in particular after talking with Larry Landis, who sends me pictures on occasion of some kits he was building, and one of them reminded me of a kit that I built, so I wanted to show it to him, and then I'm going to show it to you as well. But anyhow, I pulled down 4 kits that were on my shelf that I built years back and wanted to share them with you. First one I was going to do, as you see in the thumbnail, is Tom Daniel's Street Fighter. This is the Chevy panel and done up a nice little street racer vibe. This one I think came out in the 70s early. This is a reissue of this kit for certain. I may have built this when I was a younger kid and then destroyed it, but then when I had it, I went on ahead and decided I'd build another one. So as you can see, I've kept the box, and then I have this nice sharp kit, and I also have the instructions right there. I keep them with the kit. If I have any spare parts or decals, I usually keep them with that as well. That way I can always go back and look at them here. Do I have any of the decals? Yes, I do. Still have some of those. So I've got that in the kit. And then as you see here, this is the bad news, and it has a tilt front end. I did not glue the body to the chassis because I wanted to show off the interior. There's a nice little twin carbed. I remember correctly, this is kind of like the cross-ram intake that was from the Camaro, and built up in a nice little kit. Does it fit perfectly? No, but it's there. I'll go ahead and see if I can take the rear off, and you can see the interior was just very basic. Roll cage, some nitrous bottles. The seats, I think, were molded in as part of the tub, and then you have your shifter and your steering wheel. That's it. And then a decal for the gauges, and really no detail underneath except comical ladder bars and your headers and exhaust. Yeah, it's a pretty sharp kit. I like it. I painted this, if I remember correctly, this is one coat Testors Inca Gold. Of course, it's not one coat, this is more like 3. I usually use a white or gray primer base, and this one I also cleared with the Wet Look Clear from Testors, and turned out pretty good, I think. Nice little full panel tail lamp, very good. Red headlamps, and I used the red tinted glass. I thought that was pretty cool. So, I'm gonna move on to the next kit for us. So this next one, I've always liked the Dodson 240Z. Next door neighbor to my parents' house here in West Des Moines had, I think, a 260 or a 280Z, but the earlier ones, much like the 73 to 75 Celicas, I really dug. This one I liked, and I went on ahead and decided to build the kit. It's a nice kit. This one was driven by John Morton for Brock Racing Enterprises, and I guess they cleaned house with it. It's a nice sharp kit. It's a very small kit. A lot of fiddly parts in the kit, and yet still puts together nicely. I still have to redo the hinges. I remember I had this on the shelf for a while, and then it got dropped, and it didn't break, it just popped off. But here's your inline 6 with your 3, I would like to say, Weber carbs. The interior, probably hopefully see it from the light. This one built up into a nice sharp kit. I did a little bit of weathering as though it just came off the track. And then, of course, this was one of my earlier attempts at a two-tone paint job where I just masked it. The paint on the bottom was white, and then the top was just, I think it was the TS8 Italian Red from Tamiya. And of course, cleared it and then decaled it. Of course, since then I've been putting decals on and then clearing it. But this one, I liked it. It was on my shelf and on my desk for a while. And then, again, when I ran out of room, into the box it went, and up on the shelf it went. And it's going to go back on the shelf for a while, because, again, I'm building a lot of kits. This next one, I like big cars. I've said this long before. I like big cars and big engines. And this one's no different. This is the AMT 62 Buick Electra 225. My parents had, I think, a 65 or 66 convertible. I mean, I've talked about that in the past. I was hoping to get that when I turned 16 and ended up going to my former babysitter, who ended up selling it for like 50 bucks. And this was back in like 79 or 80, a couple years before I turned 16. But they didn't want to hold on to the car any longer, and it went to the junkyard. It was sad. Anyhow, very basic platform interior, but a lot of detail for this. Metal axles, kind of comically oversized hubcaps for the wheels, and of course, screw-in chassis. The engine, you know, very basic Buick, and probably depicting a 401 with a single 4-barrel carburetor. I built this stock. Nice interior work. This also had a white interior, which I like building cars with white interiors or tan interiors. I just like them. They stand out better. And I see a lot of 60s cars that are like that. And then over in the corner, they had this little, probably can't see it from there, but maybe from here, you can see there's a little pink elephant in the back. And I did that to kind of honor my mom. And this, again, was years back. And, of course, since my mom's passed away here a few months back, kind of a good thing to remember that. Of course, like I said, I have all the custom pieces on this car still in the box. I may pull them out someday and use them for another kit. They even had one chrome brake drum where you could display this with one tire off. There's the chrome brake drum. There's a jack right there. I think it also has some trophies in this kit. If there were, I used them for something else. But anyhow, they have all sorts of custom pieces and whatnot. Kind of a cool thing that they did back in the day. They also had here, and I still see it on occasion, where you can build the actual model kit box. You just cut it, fold it, and put it on the shelf next to your car. I'm just going to keep it there. Still have the instructions, and then of course, if you did the custom kit, all those decals. I was going to open it, but I thought, nah, just leave it like that. Of course, in the back, you can see how the bad news car is in there, but it's using the decals for this car. And then, of course, there's AMT's cat. Pretty cool. I do have that decal on a couple kits that my daughter built. She likes it, so we did that. This one I had up on the shelf for a while, and then again, ran out of room. It goes up on the shelf. And someday, you know, I'll have, not too far down the road, way more room to store these kits. I've got about maybe 20 kits that I have in boxes, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. And I don't want to find out by accident knocking them over. But anyhow, this is the one I was looking for. Because Larry, he's in the process of building the same kit and putting finishing touches on it. This is AMT's Fireball 500. It's a custom Barracuda. I'd like to think it's 66 or 67. And it was customized by George Barris himself. Kind of sweet. I like the kit because, one, it had this 3 or 4 color paint fade. White to, looks like orange. I don't see any yellow, but then you have this deep red. Okay, so rather than go and redo the entire video, I was just going to mention that the model kit, as well as what Billy Glidden raced in his Mustang back in the 90s, was what inspired me to paint this car, my very first Mustang, a 91 GT, similarly. So it's a Ford white, and then a splash yellow, and then there's an orange, and then 94 pace car vermilion. So I liked that scheme, and I painted it similarly, so I had a real life version of my own little Fireball 500. Okay, so the last part of the video that got lost, I figured I would just put a picture up here and just show you what I'm going to be building for my next kit, plus getting your opinion on which version I should build. This is Revell's 1968 Dodge Dart. It can be built one of two ways. It can be built as a Hemi, or it can be built as a 440. I believe those are the GTS models. I have not built this kit before. I've got a couple on my shelf, so I could build one way now, and somewhere down the road build the other version. Kind of partial towards the Hemi because of the Kragers and the fact that I can actually clear out the wheel wells. They've got the indents in the back where I can cut those and build this. I've seen Hemi darts up close. They look really sweet. Debating whether if I did the Hemi, if I would use the kit decals, or if I would just paint them flat black with the primer gray front ends, as I saw they came from the factory, or if I just want to go on ahead and build a nice sleeper velvet sledgehammer of a 68 Dodge Dart GTS with the 440 and go from there. But what are your thoughts? Which one should I build? And if I build the Hemi Dart, should I go with the gray and black color scheme, or should I go with the Kragers and the stickers? I don't have any steel wheels from any of the kits that I have currently, so I want to kind of keep this one without having to spend too much on getting other supplies. But I am going to go to Scale Finishes, check and see what kind of paint schemes I have on the 68 palette. So with that, thanks always for watching the videos and checking things out. Like and comment, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it. Keep getting inspired by our channels, mine as well as everyone out there, from Got Fuel's Model Car Garage to Left Coast Models to just model car videos, just all of them. Just go check them out. There's so many videos out there of people building model car kits, and they're all cool. So continue building cool kits of your own, and we'll catch you in the next video.